Hi, welcome back to Whisky Wednesday. I'm Joe. Hope you've all had a good weekend. I was at the Whisky Birmingham Festival, which was amazing. If any of you saw me there, or if any of you went, I hope you had a really good time. It was really good, meeting loads of different whisky enthusiasts and people within the industry. So this week, and for the next few weeks actually, I'm going to be reviewing some American craft whisky from the Balcones distillery. And Joanne McInnes sent me these samples, so thank you so much for these. And they're all craft American spirits with different approaches with each spirit. This particular one is called Baby Blue, and it's a corn whisky. Pause mine. And the difference between corn whisky and, say, a single malt Scottish whisky is that instead of using malted barley, they use corn to actually make the spirit. And also with American whisky as well, they use new American oak. So it's just fresh oak, and then obviously char the barrels as well. You know, with Scottish whisky, they use ex-bourbon barrels or ex-sherry barrels. With American whisky, it's all new American oak. And this Balcones is special because they use blue corn, which is very specific. They're the only distillery to actually use blue corn to make the spirit. It's a lovely, that's kind of amber, lovely rich amber colour. And it's been bottled at 46%. And you can buy this in the UK. If you go to the whiskyexchange.com, they've got it there. And I will put a link in the description. So let's give it a nose. This is the first American whisky I'll be reviewing for Whisky Wednesday. So I'm pretty excited. Oh wow, on the nose. Very different from Scottish whisky. There's almost no comparison. On the nose, very warm. There's almost kind of like a humid warmth spice to it. And Balcones is in Texas. And this is almost like being in a kind of a wooden barn on a hot summer humid day in Texas. Getting that slightly, quite nutty. I think the blue corn they use is specifically quite a nutty and dry tasting corn. So definitely getting a lot of chestnuts. I can imagine roasted chestnuts on a kind of hot Christmas, on a cool Christmas day. There's a slightly something else as well. It's not like an immediately attacking nose. It's really kind of warm, mellow. There's a kind of almost a sweet cigar note to it. It's quite a sweet nose, but it doesn't smell too sickly either. And as it's opening up, there's almost a kind of a plum brandy quality coming out. Like a slight fruitiness. Slightly sugary, like a kind of a brown demerara sugar. Maybe a little kind of macadamia nuts as well. Right, let's give it a taste. It's a really nice nose. Let's give it a bit of a taste. wow. On the palate, that raw nuttiness is coming out again, but in full force. So it's real kind of hot, roasted chestnuts, quite spicy as well. I'm getting like a kind of a cinnamony finish, a little bit kind of like cinnamon Pop-Tart, so you get that kind of butteriness from the buttery pastry, but with that kind of nice dusting of warm cinnamon. There's something ever so slightly kind of golden syrup-esque about it as well, but kind of like a juicy golden syrup that's kind of been freshened up by a little bit of lemon, almost like you're making a pancake and you kind of drizzle the golden syrup, but to cut through the sweetness you add a little bit of kind of, you know, lemon, so that kind of like nice kind of fresh lively juiciness kicks in. Let's give it another taste. It's really good, really good. If you want to try a really good American whiskey, and you've, you know, say you've had Jack Daniels or something like Jim Beam, this is very, very different from this. It's a completely separate character from a bourbon. With bourbons, they have to legally use at least a 51% corn content, and then the rest of the actual mash bill can be made out of rye, wheat, maize, but this is all corn. So it's a very, very different taste, and it's won loads of medals, this whiskey as well. It's quite a dry finish actually. Dry, kind of warm spice finish. It's not particularly long. I'd say it's kind of a medium length finish. I am still kind of getting that taste, and it's slightly kind of sticky, kind of cloyy mouth finish as well. It's not the kind of classic sickly sweet mouth finish, but it has got that nice kind of almost kind of dry stickiness. Really nice. Let's just finish off. Really good. It's possibly one of the nuttiest whiskies I've actually tasted. Really, really nice. The only thing I will say is the finish isn't particularly long, but you know, you might not want to drink a whiskey. It's a much more easy drinking kind of everyday whiskey, and you're not always going to want a whiskey that's got a really, really long finish. So I'd give this a solid 7.5 out of 10. It's the Balcones Baby Blue. As I say, I'll put a link to the Balcones website in the description, so please check below, and I'll put a link to where you can buy it from the Whisky Exchange as well. It's around about £55 in the UK, but Whisky Exchange, they can ship abroad and everything like that as well. So I'll be reviewing 5 more in the Balcones portfolio in the coming weeks, so I can't wait for that. I'm hopefully in for a treat. Please share the video, like me on Facebook, and follow me on Twitter. It'd be much appreciated if you can do that. And I'll see you next week. Cheers guys, thanks.